time to end this. Hey guys, I'm Zach the Movie Fan. There's a new Resident Evil game coming out in a couple days. So why not celebrate, or just use it as an excuse, to review the last of the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies. We're going to be looking at the final entry, Resident Evil, the Final Chapter. Resident Evil, the Final Chapter, was released back in 2017 and written and directed, again, by Paul W.S. Anderson. This piece of shit follows Alice, played again by Milla Jovovich, returning to Raccoon City to retrieve a supposed antidote to the T-virus that will hopefully stop the zombie infection, while also trying to stop Umbrella from getting in her way. So we're finally here, the last of the Resident Evil movies. Well, the last one done by Paul W.S. Anderson. I've made it no secret that I'm not a fan of these movies. But this is the one that I've dreaded the most. Mostly because this is the one where even the most diehard fans and defenders of these movies, even they couldn't defend this last one. This was the one that legitimately pissed off Resident Evil fans, at least fans of the movies. And considering I'm not a fan of the movies to begin with, that did kind of terrify me. And let me tell you, everything that everyone has said about this movie, nothing can do it justice. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter is easily the worst film in this franchise, and might just be the worst movie I think I've seen in recent memory. In fact, I actually think this is worse than Dark Wolf. I never thought I would find a movie to be worse than Dark Wolf so recently, but fucking A, it's here. Dark Wolf was awful, but that film was made on a dirt cheap budget, made by a bunch of amateurs. This is like a $1 million movie with, like, what excuse does this piece of shit have? Oh yeah, as for positives, do I have any positives? Milla Jovovich does a decent job, but she always does at this point. Yeah, that's about it. Everything else is hot garbage. Christ on a bike, where do I begin? Okay, first of all, this movie has easily some of the worst editing and camera work out of all the movies. The editing and camera work in this film is actually so terrible, it gave me a headache. Mostly because in every action scene, the cameraman only holds on a shot for what feels like a couple seconds, and then boom, edit here, boom, edit there. And it's like, on top of it off with shaky cam and blinking lights sometimes. Like, this movie should be forced to come with an epilepsy warning. It's that fucking bad. I'm not even prone to motion sickness or epilepsy myself, but the editing in this film is just that terrible. I have never experienced that ever in my life. Seen a movie that was so bad, I actually got a headache from it. I don't know how the fuck you do that, but goddamn, this movie found a way. I've complained about the action scenes in the previous movies, but as bad as the action scenes in the other movies were, I could at least tell what the fuck was happening. But it's so poorly shot here that I can barely tell what the fuck's going on half the time. And in an action movie, that's kind of a big fucking problem. This would be like if John Wick had shots that only lasted for like 2 seconds with shaky cam and flashing lights. Like, I just cannot emphasize how bad the editing and camera work in this film is. But that's not the only problem with the movie. This movie also has easily some of the worst writing out of all of them. Now, the writing for these movies was never good, ever in my opinion, but holy fuck, this movie elevated it to a new level. Like, there are so many continuity errors and, like, shit that don't make sense, like, at all. I will admit, I'm not really as much of a stickler for those kind of key details. I'm not, like, a crazy lore enthusiast. I'm not one of those guys that instantly hates a new Star Wars project if, like, it messes around with the lore or something. But, like, when you look at this film's story and everything it reveals, none of it makes any goddamn sense, and really creates the impression that Paul W.S. Anderson only sees his audience as fucking sheep that'll just watch anything with the Resident Evil name on it. For starters, the movie literally begins by revealing that the Red Queen wants to help Alice finally cure the infection. Apparently, there is a cure back in the underground lab in Raccoon City. It's called the antivirus. It's this thingy in a green. It's this green stuff in a vial. If this thing is smashed on the ground in the outside world, the antivirus will spread through the air, ending the infection. So let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that this infection, this virus that has been going on for quite a fair amount of time now, it could have been stopped this whole time if someone just smashed this vial on the ground? Really? We never found out about this sooner? What? Also, the Red Queen is helping Alice throughout the entire majority of this film, even though she was trying to kill Alice in the last movie. And no, the movie doesn't explain why the Red Queen wants to help Alice now, when she was trying to kill her in the last movie, and the other movies for that fact. No, she just wants to help Alice now for no fucking reason. It's like, what? Also, I seem to recall the last movie saying that the Red Queen had taken over the Umbrella Corporation, but now she's back to taking orders from Dr. Isaacs and Albert Wesker. Yeah, I forgot to mention. Dr. Isaacs, that douchebag scientist from Resident Evil Extinction that turned into a shit CGI monster. Yeah, he's alive again. They say he made clones of himself. Paul, what is your obsession with adding clones into Resident Evil? There's no fucking clones in the games. What is your obsession with adding clones in Resident Evil? I don't get it. Speaking of Dr. Isaacs, Albert Wesker also returns again for this film, and he's basically been reduced to nothing but a simple henchman. No, I'm dead serious. He's now taking orders from Dr. Isaacs, which not only does that feel incredibly out of character for Wesker, both from the games, but even from the movies. I'm sorry, in Resident Evil Extinction, it was the complete opposite. Wesker was the fucking chairman of Umbrella. Isaacs was clearly intimidated by Wesker, and Isaacs tried everything in his power to not piss Wesker off. Now it's the complete fucking opposite. Yeah. But it gets worse, because the movie also reveals that it was apparently Wesker's mission to kill Alice at the end of the last movie. What? Then why did he save her? Wesker literally spent the entirety of the last movie trying to save Alice. Why, if Wesker's mission was to kill Alice this whole time, then why did he go out of his way to save her? It makes no sense. Oh. Yeah. Oh, also, I know that Filmmaster Adam mentioned this in his review of this film years ago, but fuck it, I'm gonna repeat it. In the games, it took a bazooka and a volcano to kill Wesker, in Resident Evil 5 specifically. In this movie, all it takes is a falling door. I mean, he kind of survives, but he never, gets up afterwards. Albert Wesker, the uber badass of the series, practically the fucking Agent Smith of the Resident Evil universe, and he's been taken out by a falling door. Also, side note, how would that even fucking kill him? Last I checked, he's infected with the T-virus. In Resident Evil Afterlife, he survived a shotgun to the head, but now it's a falling door killing him? Oh god, it hurts. It hurts. Oh god. This movie also reveals that Alice this whole time was a clone. Which is why she doesn't have any memories of her past, because apparently she never had a past. Which doesn't make a single fucking sense. Like, what happened to her being an operative working for Umbrella? You know, the backstory that was given to her in the very first Resident Evil movie? But now they changed up her backstory to where she never had a childhood or anything. Even though the first movie completely contradicts that entirely. But yeah, they say she was the clone of Alicia Marcus, the daughter of the guy who created the Umbrella Corporation. And it turns out, Alicia Marcus was also what inspired the design of the Red Queen. Even though Resident Evil Apocalypse stated that the Red Queen was modeled after Angela Ashford, not Alicia Marcus. I would like to remind you that all these fucking movies were written by the same asshole. How are you the writer of your whole fucking series, and you can't remember fucking anything that happened in the previous movies? For fuck's sakes, dude. Finally, last but not least, the final plot hole of this film is that the Umbrella Corporation wanted the virus to wipe out humanity due to some Noah's Ark bullshit. Okay, so the Umbrella Corporation wanted the virus to wipe out humanity. Then why were they trying to cure the virus in Resident Evil Extinction? Why did they waste so much time looking for a cure in that film when this movie states that they never wanted one? Are you kidding me with this? So, just to clarify, the timeline of the series started with some guy wanting to take the virus via corporate sabotage and selling it on the black market, to the Umbrella Corporation looking for a cure, to Umbrella not wanting to cure to begin with. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It just doesn't. Oh god. As for the characters, as usual, the only character that gets any kind of development is Alice, but again, because her backstory now makes no fucking sense, she's practically worthless. She has always been an absolute nothing of a character. Like, we spent, I think, 6 movies about this woman, and I still can't tell you a single fucking thing about her as a person. Like, at all. How do you make a movie series centered around this one random woman? This one woman. 6 movies. And I still can't tell you a single thing about her other than she's a badass that kills monsters. I feel so bad for Mila Jovovich because she always tries to make this character work, but they don't. Paul doesn't give her fucking anything to work with outside of what she's been since the very fucking beginning. Oh. Yeah. As for the characters that are from the games, which this time around it's only Claire Redfield, and Albert Wesker, as usual, they do fucking nothing. You could have replaced Claire with any other Resident Evil character and it wouldn't have made a fucking difference, because none of these movies put any focus on them whatsoever. What is the point of having characters from the video games in your movie if you're not gonna do fuck all with them, Anderson? Explain to me how your logic works, for fuck's sakes. The rest of the characters are nothing but fucking cannon fodder. I don't give a shit about any of them. The only one that stands out to me is this doctor guy. That's only because he has like an air tank powered nail gun, which looked like he was ripping off the medic from TF2. And God, how much I would have much rather be playing TF2 instead. Oh God. Yeah. As for the acting, again, as usual, Mila Jovovich seems like the only one who's actually giving a shit and actually trying. Everybody else feels like they're on autopilot or just feels bored. I mean, I guess the actor playing Wesker does an alright job. But I mean, it's not even like that much of a commendment. Like, maybe it's just me, but it's not really that hard to like do for a competent actor to do a good Wesker impression. I mean, hell, I could do a good Wesker impression. Watch. Don't worry. I'll kill you quickly. You will not live to see the dawn. I mean, okay, that was probably cringy as hell, but you get what I mean. It's not that hard to, like, pull off a decent Albert Wesker. Overall, what more can I fucking say? The action is shot horribly, the whole film is shot horribly, the acting, with the exception of Mila Jovovich, is garbage, the characters are garbage, the story makes no fucking sense. This movie is a flaming dumpster fire. This was easily one of the most miserable viewing experiences I've had in a long time. Like, I would much rather watch Dark Wolf again. At least that movie had some moments of unintentional hilarity. This movie has none of that shit. It's just nothing but utter garbage. I don't know why there are so many of these, but whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm done. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, unsurprisingly, gets a fucking F. This movie is an epic fail on every level. Fuck this movie, and fuck this whole franchise. And let me tell you right now, I have not seen Welcome to Raccoon City, but there is no way in hell Welcome to Raccoon City is worse than this. This is the worst one. No way in hell the other one is worse. God. At least it's finally over. So, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. Have you guys seen this piece of shit? What do you think of it? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like what you see here, like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'm Zach the Movie Fan, and now if you excuse me, I have a promise to fulfill. I'm alright.